At the border to the west, a sleet storm of dry flesh scales stands like a great wall, churning and rolling endlessly. Beyond it lies the capricious dunes of the west, their merciless heat baking any that should push onwards, with all those unprepared for the journey being taken by the dunes themselves. To survive the choleric homelands, the putrescent lakes and compact mountains, you must possess a level of adaptation unrivaled, and no better description could be said for the creatures that roam the flaked deserts of the Outer Dry. Before we push onwards, just a quick update. Nasher Toby will not be as active with artwork here because he's working on his own projects, which is awesome. The groundwork that he's laid cannot be understated, and we wouldn't have things like this without him. So please follow him on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Patreon. I think it's awesome that he's, following his own projects, which I'm sure will be amazing. I'm also sure that his work will be making future appearances, but probably not as frequent or close together. Regardless, just a thought that I should brave you all for my own artwork, which I want to improve anyway, and I think that this is a great excuse. Now, onwards into the dunes. Speeding across the dunes of the Yellow Wastes in a turbulent streak are the Skeks, two-legged creatures whose biological makeup shares similarities with distant cousins the Tatatak, as seen in their sleek frame and their speed. The Skeks, however, achieve their speed through a complex internal combustion system that is heavily reliant on their diet. The stomachs of the Skeks takes up almost 85% of its internal structure, containing a series of chambers and sealing valves. These desert scavengers' nesting grounds are always within a short distance from acid lakes. The tough, leathery hide of their esophagus and stomach allows them to safely drink and store the digestive acids of these lakes. This yields dual benefits for the Skek, as the powerful acids allow them to break down flora and fauna other creatures aren't able to. It also creates a gas pressure within their stomachs that the Skeks can channel between different stomach chambers, which prevents them from exploding, this being the end result of non-desert natives foolish enough to consume the lake's liquid, and if they survive. By shifting the gas about their body, they prevent internal damage, but also refine the building pressure until it reaches their rectum chamber. Here they can expel the gas from their body with almost perfect control, the pressurized gas forcing them forward at high velocity for brief periods of time. The speed the Skek can reach when surging at a full tank is a staggering average of around 80 kilometers an hour. They travel in packs, but scavenge alone, eating bones, refuse, brittle floral, and even at times, broken shards of landmass. Next, we have the Bando. A large, flat-backed, fossil creature that uses its advanced cranial filtration system to survive in the moistureless plains. Using flat paddles at the base of 5 finger-like appendages, the Bando pushes its half-submerged body through the flake dunes. Its head, the largest part of its body, is shaped like a pyramid, facing forwards with row upon row of keratin combs within. These combs filter nutrient-rich materials from the dunes that enter its open head. Each segment of the comb leading back towards the brain gets condensed and crushed. Once the Bando has taken in enough raw material, it begins to fully crush its cranial contents by pushing each comb back with immense pressure, compacting the minerals tighter each time until they form a dense, moisture-rich droplet. This droplet is then funneled directly into the brain, feeding and energizing the Bando for the next age to come. They are solitary animals known for territorial behavior once they find a mineral-rich area. This behavioral trait also indicates where the best resources are to find. Our next creature is the Spiridgen. The desert disk of the Outer Dry, the Spiridgen, an 8-limbed surface dweller known and named for its unique mode of travel. The spirogen are found in the deeper parts of the outer dry, often standing very still on the tip of their sharp tentacles. This allows them to get a clearer view of the landscape, as well as conserve energy. The soft head of the spirogen has small eyes covering it in a 360-degree band, allowing the spirogen to see the entire area with a reasonably keen sight, though the range of its vision is limited. Once the spirogen has caught sight of its prey, it will turn on an angle, leaning forwards towards the slope of a dune. The peak of tall dunes being their favored resting spot, it will fully extend all 8 limbs, causing the pterygial membrane connecting each limb to tighten and expand. This shape grants the spirogen great mobility, and it rolls down towards its prey at breakneck speeds, sharp talons on each tentacle ready to slice it apart. The rapid spinning motion would cause any other life form great dizziness and confusion, but the spirogen has adapted by utilizing its many eyes. By closing each eye and opening the next in time with their rotation, they can effectively create an uninterrupted view directly ahead of them. They then engulf their recently slashed prey with this same membrane and suck all bodily fluids out of the wound with a vacuum-like mouth. It is speculated they are descendants of the ancient Guijin, adapting to the ground over time as their diet developed and changed. Next creature, the Naquil-Waha. Dense, four-legged striders that walk the deserts in large herds. These creatures share a similar body mass to an enlarged Zok-Ud, with powerful muscular forms that allow them to carry their enormous bulk. The Naquil-Waha, or Naha for short, possesses tall necks with a retractable head that can fold back into themselves completely. This is used to shield their sensitive single eye from storms or attack, and to keep their exposed heads cool. At the center of their torso is a semi-transparent sac filled with a dark blue gelatin. This gelatin is incredibly heat resistant and naturally keeps the Naha cool as it travels through the dry landscape. The Naha is able to produce this gelatin compound through the sustenance it gains from draining its prey's vital fluids. Naha have been known as watchers by some choleric locals due to their method of consumption. The Naquil-Waha's eye, with its bright blue trisected pupil, dilates when it sees a potential meal. A faint blue light beams out of the eye towards its target, luring it closer. As the prey approaches the Naha, it extends thin tendrils from inside its pupil, which attach to the prey and begin to drain its vital essences. Once completely drained, the Naha moves on, not needing to eat again for a few days. The Naquil-Waha is revered by the choleric for its cooling capabilities, and by using sound, some choleric are actually able to approach, ride, and extract this gelatin without harming the creature, this being a prized trading item. And finally, we have the Guijin. Standing like a massive tree of flayed yellow skin when resting, the Guijin is a passive filter flyer of the western deserts. Their scale is huge, with an average wingspan of about 197 feet, 60 meters, in flight, with younglings averaging around 30. Simple filter feeders who sustain themselves on the nutrients of the dune flakes kicked up in wind or after great storms. These great flyers stay airborne for most of their lives, rarely landing, able to glide with a thin membrane wing and oily coating. This coating prevents them from collecting unwanted detritus while they feed, which would slow them down. Excess food matter slides off, and their life in the air keeps them cool with motion. When nesting, they will sit upon any flora that they can possibly find in groups, but primarily are solitary creatures, as are most of the creatures of the desert. And I suppose bonus thing, I do have a description here, but I don't have any artwork for a megafauna, the Funduso, which is an enormous whale-like being with a large body and head, which then tapers down to a thin tail. At the front of its head is a small spheroid connected to taut sinew just in front of its permanently open jaw. This spherical organ acts like a nutrient-based compass filled with interchangeable internal fluids and in conjunction with trapped air bubbles from the surface, which guides the creature, essentially like a bioorganic compass, towards nutrient fluids or areas. It is a filter feeder. If any artists would like to have a crack at that, please feel free. I just thought I'd add that one in, just to give you guys the idea that I'm also working on megafauna, as in I would like each region to have a massive creature. Because I think that would be fun, and, you know, sort of in that style of like Shadow of the Colossus, it would be really cool to have each region to have maybe one type or one animal that is just truly immense. But yeah, that is the creatures of the West. I'm probably going to be working on the ones from the South next. We'll see. But thank you so much for all your support. Everyone on Patreon, everyone on YouTube, please. It's a huge help if you like and subscribe. Comment below with your favorite creature, who you think would win in a fight. And yeah, thank you so much. I've been Haunted Picnic, and I'll see you all next time.